So good morning, no. Last time ang topic natin was well control. So for today, we're going to take up sisimulan na natin yung pinakailalim ng drill string at saka yung BHA, which is the bit. After the bit, yung mga drill collars, yung drill pipes, heavyweight, and then special drilling tools like uh, stabilizers, motor, and then we will go into drilling fluids tsaka drilling cementing. And yon medyo may mga computations yon. So pagsasabay-sabayan na natin yung mga computations when we reach that point. So for now, if you look at the syllabus, bits tayo, and after that saka pa yung mga bottom hole assembly. So let's proceed with the bit. Let me just start recording. And let me off ko na lang yung video para hindi mag-consume ng maraming bandwidth. Okay. Okay, sorry. So if you look at the screen, ang topic natin will be drill bit technology, and then the objective of which is to recognize different bit types. So we'll start with roller cone, PDC bits, yung karamitan mga ginagamit, and see how we could select the bits for various formation types and drilling conditions. And at the end of the lecture or the PowerPoint na may presentation, you should be able to grade bits using IADC dull grading system, and utilize the IADC code to describe and compare the bit. So let's start. Kung nakikita nyo sa screen yung mill tooth, ito yung ginagamit pag very soft lang yung mga formation. So makikita nyo yung teeth very long and also tatlong cone. So ito under classification sa ng roller cone. So if you look at the picture, itong nasa right na to na cone, medyo nakausli yung nose niya, yung pinakanguso niya. That is the leading cone, primary, and then iikot siya. So medyo baliktad siya, no? Na medyo baliktad siya pag ikot niya. This is assuming na ito yung nasa ilalim and yung thread ay nasa ibabaw. Kasi yun naman ang paggamit ng bit. Hindi siya nakatihayang ganyan. So let's just assume na umiikot yung roller cone and it's rotating clockwise. Pag rotate niya, rotate yung secondary cone, and then rotate din yung tertiary cone. So mapapansin nyo rin, in between the two cones, merong nozzle. This is another roller cone bit. Ang tawag dito, insert bits. Kung mapapansin nyo this time, yung cutters niya, which is made of tungsten carbide, maliliit lang siya na parang button. Kumbaga, bilog-bilog na siya. Hindi siya yung mahaba. And this is particularly suitable sa mga hard formation. Now, ito yung another type of bits which belongs to fixed cutter na tinatawag. Ibig sabihin, wala siyang cone. So they come in different, according to different makeup. Natural diamond, which is ito yung mga itsura niya. And then these are also natural diamond. And notice that merong pattern siya sa face. Ito ang face niya, itong mukha niya. Kung tinitingnan natin doon sa pinakailalim niya, no? Ito yung pag nagbarena tayo, ito yung nakadikit doon sa pinaka initial formation area. So yung mga parang kanal na yan, that serves as pag nag-pump tayo ng fluid, that's where the fluid goes. Para maiwasan yung medyo nagbo-bold up and i-clog yung center part. Meron siyang parang mga maliit na kanal or artery. So doon dadaan yung fluid. Okay, so this is another fixed cutter bits which is being used and commonly used sa mga oil and gas, which is yung PDC or polycrystalline diamond compact bits. Makikita nyo, ibang itsura niya. Again, walang bearing, walang roller. So it comes in a different blade. So kung bilangin natin yung blade, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 5-bladed bit. Iba't iba ang size ng cutters na ginagamit. Itong for this particular size, mukhang malalaki yung mga cutters. They could be mga 21 millimeter kasi yung itsura niya masyadong malalaki. So ito, iba din yung cutters niya pagdating doon sa gilid at saka malapad yung gilid. The reason for this is kung ginamit siya sa mga horizontal, sa mga reservoir na, yung gilid kasi yung parang yun ang nakapatong doon sa formation. So, kailangan mas matibay o mas sturdy yung gilid na part. So, ayan. Ito naman, this is another type of diamond bits. Ang tinatawag dito is thermally stable polycrystalline bits. So, it is composed of different shapes, size, at saka yung pagka-distribute niya iba-iba rin. Kung mapapansin ninyo. Ito, this is another thermally stable polycrystalline bits na itsura niya. And these are the diamond impregnated. Kung makikita nyo, halos wala kang makitang teeth. So since it is impregnated, it comes along with the matrix o yung body ng bit mismo. So let us now go to the classification. So we have the drill bit, ulitin ko, we have the fix, we have the roller cone. So itong dalawang pula are the roller cone, itong dalawang naka-diagonal papunta from the leftmost to the right, lower right corner, yan yung fixed bit. Okay? So sa fixed cutter, we have PDC bit. Itong kalamitang ginagamit sa oil and gas, while the mga diamond, ginagamit din siya pero bihirang-bihira except if you are drilling in a very hard na formation na mga granite. Like sa Vietnam, merong mga granite o granite. And then sa Iran, meron silang mga matitigas na bato doon na dinidrill. So that is being used. Otherwise, kalimitan is roller cone na mill tooth tsaka insert. So sa fixed cutter, sabi ko kanina may mga iba't ibang size. Malalaman natin yon if we have a bit gauge. Pag inipit mo dun sa cutter, even without a ruler, malaman mo na 19 mm siya, 16 mm, 13 mm, 11 mm, or 8 mm. So, ayan, ano? So, iba-iba din yung mga size, shape, at saka quality nila. So, those are a picture ng yung sa diamond. So, sa roller cone, which is also named as tri-cone kasi tatlo yung cone niya. Usually milltooth. Itong mga milltooth, ginagamit natin to pag start ng well. When drilling the surface hole like 26-inch hole, 22-inch, 17.5, we normally use this type of bits kasi hindi pa masyadong consolidated yung formation. The soft formation are usually soft, so tamang-tama siya kung gagamitin natin. Hindi na kailangan mag-button agad o inserts. As you go deeper, yun, saka lang tayo gagamit ng inserts. Notice the hard facing sa mga teeth. Parang pumangit yung itsura, no? Parang merong balot yung mga ngipin. That is what you call hard facing. Ngayon, as you have a harder formation, ang gagamitin mo na are the so-called insert bits. Notice yung mga teeth nila lumiliit. Sa una, yung cone niya matataas. And then, pag medyo matigas na yung formation, we can use a slightly parang nakinat na cone. Tapos ito parang semi-oblong na. And then, pang hard formation, halos yung round na ang edges nung pinaka-teeth o yung cutters. So, this is an example nung bearing nila. Later on, I'll let you choose kung ano ang magandang mga bearing. But this is an example of roller bearing as opposed to mga journal bearing. Itong mga journal bearing, these are so-called sealed bearings na medyo mas ano siya for high speed at saka mas harder formation pa. Yun ang ginagamit. So, just like sa bearing ng mga bisikleta or sa motor, we have a bearing so that it will reduce yung friction. Imagine if walang bearing, even if we pump mud through the column or through the drill string, iinit ng husto yung bit when it is being used against a formation. So, kailangan mo yung roller cone para maka-operate ka under certain temperature and load. So, meron tayong load. So, ayan, yung mga bearings na yan, they look like parang meron talagang, alam nyo yung sa mga conveyor, sa ilalim ng conveyor or ano, ganyan ang itsura. Plus, you have parang bulitas, yung mga bilog na mga bearing. So those are combination of roller bearings and ayan, nagkakatalo na lang sila kung depende yung pagka-seal niya. These are usually sealed din na roller bearing, but some of them have different design and different composition ng mga bearings. So ayan. And whenever they are sealed, that's usually used for higher RPM at saka low weight on bit. Dalawa kasi ang nag-govern when you apply a bit. It's either you apply high RPM, mga 120, 130, 140, and para maging magmamatch siya dun sa energy level na tinatawag, you just apply low weight on bit. So, pag mataas yung RPM natin, dapat babaan lang natin yung weight. Pag mataas yung weight, babaan yung RPM. Lalo na sa mga tri-cone o may bearing. So, compared to mga non-sealed, mas shorter hours pag mga non-sealed at saka sa temperature din. Medyo nagkakaiba rin sila sa temperature. So, these are the different types of bearing. And then, sa mga journal bearing, this is mas wide-ranging yung speed niya, and it could come from low to moderate, and then they can be used also sa mga medium to semi-hard formation, and then they can also absorb higher weight on beat. So yan yung particular about the bearing. Now, paano, halimbawa, tanungin nyo, na nagwe-wear din ba yung bearing? Yes. Ang itsura ng medyo nagamit talaga yung bearing tapos lumabas siya, ganito ang itsura. So, halos bumigay talaga yung bearing. It must have gone through a very hard formation dahil even yung balot niya doon sa bearing na nakaskas o nawala. So, ganyan ang itsura niya. Okay? Now, ang tatlong cone, sabi ko sa inyo, merong leading cone or yung primary, secondary. Parating yung number 1 cone, meron siyang parang spear. Siya yung medyo may pinakamahaba doon sa nguso niya. Siya yung may nakalabas doon na parang spear. Pag umikot siya, iikutan niya yung face nung katabi. Ikot din yung pangalawa, ikot din yung pangatlo. Ang nagde-decide dyan, so dito, for example, ang pinaka-primary natin is etong mahaba na to. Itong may cone na nasa ibabaw. Yung cutter 1 na nakalagay cutter 1. Iikot siya, ikot doon sa pangalawa, ikot yung pangatlo. So, this is the gauge row. Pag mini-measure natin yung gauge, nilalagay natin yung ring. Dapat i-measure natin bago i-run, maski bago siya. Kasi, who knows, baka yung bit diameter may be more o masyadong less naman dun sa ating hole size. So, yan din yung heel part, yung talampakan niya, kasi nga baliktad yung ating paggamit. Itong mga cone na yan nasa baba, itong pin o threaded nasa taas. So, heel yan. So, ang shoulder niya, nandito sa taas nito bago mag-thread. Kasi, yung talampakan nasa baba, yung balikat nasa taas no? Shirt tail. So, it is in between the heel and the shoulder. Yan, ang lug. Ito ang mga nozzle. Ito ang bit body niya. Okay? So, dito, as I have mentioned, ito yung may parang nakaungos na doon sa cone. So, ito yung number 1 cone, number 2 cone, tapos number 3 cone. Yan ang procedure niya. So, okay. Ito ang mga inalis-alis na na parts ng cutters kung aalisin natin yung cutters. So, let me see. Clockwise. Medyo mali itong diagram na to because if it is rotating clockwise, we are looking at it from the top ng pin. Pag umikot ito na number 1 cone, yung kaliwa ang number 2 na cone at saka yung number 3 is nasa kanan. Kasi he is assuming na ang ikot kasi niya is counterclockwise. Dahil kung counterclockwise siya, baliktad, di ba? So, sorry for that. Medyo it is not correct. Somebody did a mistake. So, merong tinatawag natin na journal angle. If we draw a line between the axis nung yung sinasabi kong may spear, and we draw a line that is perpendicular to the surface kung nakatayo yung bit as if gagamitin natin sa hole, and we draw a line between the axis nung pinakagitna, that angle that is made between that axis at saka yung perpendicular to the vertical line ng bit, that is our journal angle. Ang kahalagahan nun, we look at the journal angle depende sa formation natin. So, minsan ang journal angle niyan is mas malaki o medyo pwede rin na parang nakasagad doon sa baba. So medyo nakatukod siya, which results sa offset nila. Pag tiningnan mo sa taas, may offset sila. So yung magiging offset na yon, as in the case ng left side, ito ang pang soft formation versus yung hard. Tingnan nyo yung offset, halos dikit-dikit. So ang rotation is papaganon. We are looking at it na medyo nakababa siya. Nakababa kasi yung beat. Nandito tayo sa taas tumitingin. So tama ito. Yung rotation niya is clockwise. Kasi pag ikot ng drill string clockwise din dapat yung ikot ng beat. So, pag 0 to 2 degrees yung offset, ayan yung mga pang hard formation. Pero pag ang offset natin, mga 3 degrees to 5 degrees, okay din, pero pang soft siya na formation. Okay? Now, let's go to the cutting structure. Ang cutting structure natin, iba-iba depende sa klase ng bit. And if we go to the summary ng cutting structure, ito yan, no? Para balikan natin yon kasi ito yung summary ng cutting structure para hindi kayo malito bakit ganun yung nagiging action. Ito yung summary ng drilling mechanisms na nangyayari if we use a particular type of bit. Sa mga PDC, ang nangyayari is shearing tsaka compression. And doon naman sa mga inserts, meron tayong mga compression din, but then hindi masyado yung shearing. Ito yan. So if we go for mill tooth, ang action is gouging tsaka scraping. Ang scraping is parang nagaano tayo ng we have a shovel na nasa buhangin. Sa insert, we are more of chipping at saka crushing dahil maliliit yung ating teeth. Yun yung mechanism. Sa PDC, it's more of shearing. Shearing, ibig sabihin, parang naghahasa tayo, di ba? More of, may crushing konti, may konting, but at the same time, sinishear natin yung formation because of the action of PDC. Itong mga natural diamond, it is flowing. Ang ginagawa niya is parang nag-aararo siya. So, kaya flowing. Yan yung, I do not know the exact translation of this in Filipino or Tagalog. And yung mga impregnated diamond, grinding. Okay? So, going back dun sa action ng mga beats, ang cutting structure niya will depend nga, tsaka mechanism will depend on the type of beats, kung ano ang ginagamit natin, and also with respect sa profiling. Okay, let's go back. Sa journal angle, sabi ko, ito yung sa offset. The softer formation, ito yung as opposed to the hard formation na ang offset natin is halos wala. No? Ayan. Ngayon, yung mga soft formation yon, to prevent balling, ang gagawin natin, yung teeth niya mahaba para hindi siya mag-ball yung beat. Tapos as the formation becomes harder and harder, that's the time when we go for mas maliliit or mga button na inserts ang gagamitin natin. So as you can see from the diagram, ito medyo mataas pa. And then, there's a different shape hanggang eto na yung ginamit na shape doon sa kanan, rightmost. Tingnan nyo ito, parang may welding sa gilid and merong button sa gilid. Ang tawag dyan is gauge protection. Kasi pag nag-aano tayo ng deviated well, ito ang sumasayad kasi doon sa formation eh. Just imagine, hindi na yung pinaka-face nung teeth, kundi ito, imagine niyo. Especially sa mga horizontal, ito ang pag nakatagilid na tayo, ito ang madaling mag-wear yung matrix niya na portion na yan. Kaya ang ginagawa is we put an added feature ng mga bits na may tawag dyan is gauge protection. So, ganun din yung teeth. Pag ang teeth natin gusto natin ng mga slower yung drilling, we'll probably choose yung mga teeth na medyo magdikit-dikit. Pero pag ang gusto natin faster yung drilling, medyo nakabuka yung teeth ang pipiliin natin. Ngayon, makikita nyo rin ito, parang weird yung mga teeth. These are also cutter hard facing. Kasi there could be some medyo hard formation na pwedeng broken yung teeth agad-agad. So, nire-reinforce natin yan ng pang hard facing, usually tungsten carbide, para tumagal yung life ng bit. And also, similarly, ganon din yung mga shapes nila. Notice na nag-iiba-iba yung mga shapes as you prefer from soft to hard. Ito yung soft, medyo naka-space out ng husto, pero ito medyo mas dikit-dikit na yung teeth. Okay? Ito, ang cutters natin are more of conical shape, and then pagdating sa rightmost, parang ano na siya, medyo round na siya, na parang half moon. Hindi na siya katulad ng mga cone, nag-iiba na yung shape. So, these are the series. Ito yung sa Reed High-Kalog, kaya yung type na yan is 43A. This is only a description ng mga bits nila according to the company. Pero hindi pa yan yung IADC code na tinatawag. So, these are for harder formation bits kasi ang series niya is more of HP 52 na. And then, as it becomes harder, HP 61 na. And then, as it goes to harder formation, HP 62 and finally HP 83. So, paano nakaka-circulate sa, let's go to the design, yung bits. Merong nozzle, ano? So, usually pag tricone bits, we have 3 nozzles. There could be another nozzle sa gitna. Okay? Now, etong mga malalaking bit, we can use an extended nozzle. Kasi remember, kung mga 26-inch, 22-inch yung bit, they could be ranging from 2 feet. So yung nozzle, nakaangat siya, which is too far away from the formation. So ang ginagawa is we run or use an extended nozzle. But there is a risk of breaking those nozzles. So depende rin. Kung medyo matitigas na bato, we'd rather not use the extended nozzle kung ganon. Pero pag mga soft lang naman, we can use an extended nozzle. Okay? Yung cutters niya, ito, it just shows paano ini-install yung mga cutters. They are not installed manually, but rather by a machine. And then my pattern na kine-create. When the cutters are installed, they are installed from one end, tapos yung kabilang end naman, tapos yung kabilang end, tapos kabilang end, hanggang mabalance yung mga cutters. Hindi basta-basta lalagay ng cutters magkakatabi tapos saka na lang yung kabilang side, hindi ganon. So these are the sizes of cutters. At least descriptive siya. 19, makikita natin na 19 yon pag may bit gauge tayo. 16, 13, 11, 8 mm. At saka yung sa cutters naman niya, kung nakatabi, meron tayong tinatawag na back rake angle. Pinipili natin yung back rake angle kasi kung gagamitin mo sa mga vertical well, ang back rake angle niya dapat mas mababa yung back rake angle. Medyo mas konti. Pero pag gusto mo ng medyo less aggressive, medyo iaangat mo to. Lalakihan mo to ng konti para hindi siya masyadong aggressive ang angle. Basically, the lower the angle or the closer to vertical, it is more aggressive. Kaya yung tilting ng cutters medyo may something to do rin of whether it is aggressive or not. Second is yung body. Yung body, they could be steel or naka-matrix. Ibig sabihin, nung steel, in-implant lang doon yung mga blades. When it is matrix, that means the blade is also part of the same material as the body, only meron siyang mga inserts o inano doon sa mga gilid-gilid niya. Kaya then when it is of matrix, they become more erosion resistant. So ito yung profile. Again, pag ganito ang position niyan, pag niran mo sa rotary table, ito ang gauge part, ito ang shoulder, ito ang taper, ito ang nose, ito yung pinaka-cone, yung tinitingnan natin. Binabaliktad yan para makita mo lang yung pattern, yung blades, yung size ng mga cutters. But basically, pag run niya, nakaganon. Mahalaga din yung profile. This is the so-called C profile, yung isa R profile. Bakit doon? Pag maliit yung radius niya, tapos mahaba-haba yung taper niya, medyo kakaiba siya kung short yung taper niya at saka mahahaba naman yung nose niya. So, ganun yun, ano? And yung C profile, yun yung kung gusto mo medyo reasonable yung stabilization niya. Pero yung R profile, yun ang pipiliin mo kung very hard formation. Kaya nagkakaiba sila kung medyo ganun ang ang pipiliin mo. So, itong blades na to na nasa kaliwa, this is how many blades? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is an 8-bladed PDC bit. So, medyo aggressive yan. How many nozzles meron tayo? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 nozzles. So, if we have 6 nozzles, kukumputin natin yung total flow area ng nozzles according to some hydraulic calculations with 6 nozzles. And let's say we are going to pump a certain flow rate, makukuha natin yung pressure drop at the bit. So, ayan. Pinapakita lang dito yung iba't ibang part ng cone. Again, naka-side view siya, nakabaliktad siya when it is going to be run in the hole. Ang position niya nasa left side. Pero pag tinitingnan natin o ginigrade natin, dapat ganito, nakaibabaw. Kailangan nakabaliktad siya kasi ito yung pin end ng bit, and doon natin kinakabit yung drill collar, yung stabilizer, yung motor, because most of them are box down. Hindi siya pin down. Pag drill collar or drill pipe, they are usually pin yung nasa baba, box yung nasa taas. But with the bit, we need a box down, box up din yon nasa taas para connect natin yung drill bit to the either stabilizer, motor, o kung ano man yon. Ano? We will need a crossover kung kakabitan natin ang drill collar. Okay? Now, the circulating fluid is very important kasi it allows the bit to be cooled and para ma-remove din natin yung mga cuttings. So, again, tatlong klase yung fixed cutter bits. They are PDC bit, natural diamond or TSP bit, tsaka impregnated diamond bits. The most common is used in the oil and gas is PDC bit. Itong natural diamond impregnated, these are only used in areas with very hard formation like granite, as I mentioned sa Vietnam or Iran. So, ito yung cutting structure niya. Medyo iba. And if you notice, yung mga diamonds, they also have their own shape. Natural diamond, ito yung pattern niya. Notice the parang mga kanal so that the fluid can flow and the cuttings can also be dispersed from the face area. Yan ang mga triangular ng TSP which is nilalagay sa mga bit. TSP bit, parang nakasama siya doon sa pinaka ng face or even the body. So, as opposed to sa mga impregnated, halos wala kang makitang cutters or halos integrated doon sa pinaka matrix niya. So, again, yung mga mechanism, they with a PDC bit, we can have shear failure because we said ang action, ang drilling mechanism sa PDC bit are shearing. So they can also have compressive failure such as this. And then there could also be a compressive failure sa mga roller cone. And this is an example of a shear failure sa PDC bit. Notice na parang tumagilid yung isang blade, ano? Tumagilid and parang hindi na yung shape, ano? Halos hindi na sumunod dun sa semi-parabolic niya. Talagang matindi din yung bato. It continuously sheared the formation, but in doing so, it also led to a shear failure of the bit. And this is another example of a compressive and shear failure for diamond na to or impreg. Tingnan nyo yung nasa kaliwang portion niya, halos natapyas, ano? Parang kinat. Ayan. So, ito ang drilling action. Again, mill tooth, gouging, scraping. Insert, chipping, crushing. PDC, shearing. Natural diamond, flowing. Impregnated diamond, grinding. Okay? Now, let's go to IADC drill bit classification. The one you see in the left is 8.5-inch bit, EHP 51. So, anong ibig sabihin yan? It denotes some kind of IADC. Sa IADC natin, the first one is 5. And between 1 to 8, that corresponds to soft to medium formation with low compressive strength. And they fall under insert bits. Kasi yung 1, 2, 3, nasa mill tooth or tooth bits. Yung 4 to 8, they are the so-called insert bits. So, let's start with 5. So, nasa 5, yung cutting structure niya is 1. Kasi in between the 5 or in between the cutting structure na 1, meron kang 1, 2, 3, 4. Sa 2, meron kang 1, 2, 3, 4. Meron kang 1, 2, 3, 4. And then sa 5, meron din tayong 1, 2, 3, 4. Yung 1 refers to the soft again, papunta sa mas matigas. So 1 is 5, under 5, soft. So 5, 1. And then yung 7, they correspond to the bearing description. Kung ang 7 natin, they correspond to sealed friction bearing with gauge protection. Yung G, special features, which means meron siyang gauge tsaka body protection. So, nagtanong yung company man, which one do you wish to run? So, pwede mong sabihin, oh, I would like to run a 517 bits. So, pwede nyong tingnan yung drilling catalog, look for the 517, makikita nyo doon iba't ibang model, iba't ibang vendor, may Reed, may Security, may Hughes Christensen na under sa 517. Hughes are manufactured by Baker Hughes. Security are manufactured by Halliburton. And yung Smith and formerly yung Reed Hycalog are manufactured by Schlumberger. So, sa PDC, ganun din. Pag tinawag natin na ito ang type nila, meaning DS66H, and it is a M432 bit. Ibig sabihin, the M corresponds to steel or matrix. So, this is obviously a matrix. Yung 4, it refers to the cutter density. Ibig sabihin, the lower the number, the lighter set the bit. So, it is a 4. So, medyo okay lang. Between 1 to 8, it is 4. Yung cutter size, 3, it indicates it is between 8 and 14. So, malamang 13 millimeter yon. Kasi minsan 19, we have 13, and then we have 10. So, if it is a 13, obviously it is a 3. And then sa profile, it denotes 2. So, ang 1 is a flat profile. Yung 4, medyo parang yung parabolic. Ito, medyo ang itsura niya semi-parabolic. So, ang nakalagay niya is 2. So, that completes yung pinaka-coding doon sa bit. But the type itself is denoted by DS66H. Depende kasi yung type sa vendor. Silang may descriptive, it represents something. Bawa yung 6 series nila, they represent mga parang nasa 614 in terms of IADC classification. Ito, 614, mga parang ganyan. Ang equivalent niyan. So, that's why it's DS66. Otherwise, it would be DS55, mga ganon. And the H would probably horizontal steering application. So, kaya may H. So, tamang-tama. If you are using horizontal, you should take this one, M432 code, and then pick out this DS66H. So, ganun ang natin. So, if you are the drilling engineer or the directional driller, and then they will ask you kung anong gusto mo, oh, I like to have a 517 kung inserts. And then, pag PDC, okay, let's start with the 432M. So, that's good enough description, and then you can look sa iyong listahan ng mga bits kung ano ang pwede mong i-run doon. And whatever choice you have, it follows this kind of graph, no? Ang graph natin is a graph between formation compressive strength at saka penetration rate. So sa una, if we use a mill tooth, ang compressive strength is much less. And as it becomes more and more, sabi natin consolidated na o hard formation, you can use an insert, but the penetration rate or ROP will become less. Pero When the formation compressive strength is much less, mga siltstone, sandstone, limestone, you can use a PDC and definitely the penetration rate will be higher. As compared kung masyado ng mataas yung compressive strength mo, you will have to use natural diamond tsaka impregnated bead. Okay? So, ang tanong, alin ang gagamitin ko ngayon? So, sa una, pwede kong gamitin ang mill tooth for 26 inch, 22 inch, kasi soft pa yun. I'll choose a 115 code. Ang 115 will be soft formations with low compressive strength. Ang cutting structure niya will still be soft, pero I'll just use a sealed roller bearing with gauge protection. So, okay na ako ron. And then, ganun din sa mga 17.5, maybe I'll choose a 214 na sealed roller bearing, soft pero medium hard formation. And then as I move to 12 1/4, I'll probably choose M432, itong mga 12 1/4 na PDC. Pwede na ako mag-PDC kasi by then tapos na ako mag-build ng angle. And then, pagdating ko ng mga 8.5, I will use again a PDC bead hanggang matapos to the end. Unless I need a special type of motor, kung magmomotor ako, and then I'll balik ako sa insert. So that's how we choose a bead. If you are the drilling engineer, directional driller, you will have to have a wide variety of choices. Otherwise, nakalagay na yon sa drilling program. Yung iba kasi, let's say nakalagay sa drilling program but it was not available for purchase. So, ang ginagawa, when you have a drilling program, let's say mga 20 wells yun, binibili na yon lahat ng bits from assorted na, from top hole, 26-inch hole, hanggang 6-inch, kung merong 6-inch, binibili na yon lahat. So you will have a wide assortment of bits like Hughes Christensen, Smith bits, Reed Heikalog, merong kang security bits, lahat ng klaseng bit meron ka. It's like cars to choose from. Pero, why should I, kung meron lang din akong pagpipilian, why should I choose a Toyota if I can have a Porsche or Rolls-Royce? So, pipiliin ko yung maganda na. Bakit? Kasi, for example, if I choose a Smith, yung K-Revs na tinatawag, ang K-Revs is revolutions in terms ng ikot. Ang rated nila is mga 12 1/4 is umaabot ng 800,000. Pag lesser known bits, siguro abot lang siya ng mga 400 o kalahati. So definitely, yung ikot niya, mas tatagal siya. Kung ang run natin is mahaba, let's say 6 days na 12 1/4, dahil mahaba-haba yung section. So pipiliin ko yung medyo mas mahal, mas tatagal, mas hindi siya mahuhulog basta-basta yung cone. Kaysa sa mahulugan ako ng cone, nakamura ka nga ng bit, and then you will end up fishing. So the choice of the bit is very important. Okay? So, again, ang selection natin depende sa durability, depende sa range ng formation, depende sa steerability. Kasi if we are using a motor, maganda mag-tricone lang tayo. But then it will necessitate another trip pag tapos na tayong mag-steering. Pag naayos na natin yung direction at yung angle, we will just need a PDC bit. So this is the catalog that we can use. Lahat ng sizes nandyan, lahat ng mga manufacturer nandyan, hindi nyo lang siguro makita. But then, naka-state na dyan according to IADC code. So, titingnan mo lang kung ano ang gusto mong bit na ano. Those are called comparison charts na magagamit natin. So again, series 1 to 3, milled tooth bit. Yung series na 4 to 8, sa roller cone, insert yon. And then for each series, divided into 4. 1 soft, 2 hard. Okay? Tapos, yung bearing, 1 to 7. Yung 7 means sealed friction bearing and gauge protection. Yung 1, standard roller bearing lang yon. Yung 4, sealed roller bearing na yon. Or yung 5, sealed roller bearing and gauge protection. So, maganda diyan is I can choose a sealed friction bearing with gauge protection o kaya sealed roller bearing and gauge protection included para protected na yung aking gauge. Ngayon, if a bit is classified as 1, 2, 4, it means bit soft formation and then E, meron siyang extended nozzles. So, ganon. Okay? Now, let us go on how we grade bit. Lahat ng bit, pagka ginamit natin, ginagraduhan. Parang estudyante lang, ano? Kasi, if we want to reuse the same bits, kailangan pupunta ako sa bit record, titingnan ko, alin kaya ang pwede kong magamit. So, pag ginamit sa isang well, gagamitin mo sa another well, pwedeng ilalagay mo, bit number 1, rerun, RR. Ibig sabihin, ginamit sa isang well, ginamit mo ulit na rerun. Ngayon, halimbawa, sa old na ginamit mo na same rerun, paulit, pwede mo ilagay RRR, rerun ng isang rerun. So, pangatlo na yun na gamit. Kaya RRR. Okay? Ito, iraran nyo po ba ito? Hindi. Hindi na. Kasi tingnan mo na lang yung bit, kalbong-kalbo na. Wala nang mga cutters. Ito, junk na to. Halos ipakilo. Pero nagagamit pa yan kung i-refurbish yan. May mga company, magbi-build up sila ng cutters, ayusin na lang yung cone, and then pwede mga gamit, lalo na sa mga water well. So, ang classification natin is 8-bit o code classification. Inner, outer. Yung inner is yung inner sa loob. Yung outer, gauge row. So, ang pag-grade niyan, kung ang inner-outer natin, ito ang napudpod na ng gusto, ganito 8. O kung hindi masyadong napudpod, let's say nasa gitna, I can give it a 4. Kung hindi pa talaga masyado, pero very rare, pag nirun mo yung bit, gradean mo na ng 1. Meron na kasing wear eh. So, 1. So, inner, 1. Outer, kunwari, napudpod siya, lalagay ko 4. Kung hindi na talaga, katulad nito, ang inner-outer ko, inner, kalbo na, di ba? Ang outer, kalbo rin. So, lalagay ko dyan, 8-8. Talagang, so, pwede kong ilagay 8-8. Yung dull characteristic, eto, di ba broken teeth na? Nawala pa nga eh, lost teeth. Ngayon, pwede ko siyang ilagay doon sa broken teeth cutter. Sa heel at saka inner outer. So, ang location na lalagay ko, all. Ibig sabihin, merong heel row, merong outer row, halos marami. Ang bearing seal niya, nung inikot ko, siguro halos wala na rin. So, pwede kong ilagay ang bearing niya kung medyo hindi naman pa umalog-alog, lagay ko mga 7. Yung bearing seal niya, lalagay ko sa 7, di ba? Ngayon, halimbawa, sa pick scatter, pwede natin ilagay itong mga parts nito, nose, taper, shoulder. Tapos kung ang effective pa yung bearing, lagay mo E. Pero kung hindi na yung effective, failed. Tapos kung medyo pwede pa pero hindi na man failed, lagyan mo ng number. And then, pagkatapos mong maglagay, doon ka na mag-fill up sa gauge. Pag in-gauge, 12 and 1/4, so halos in-gauge pa siya, lagay mo I. Pero kung 1/16 out of gauge, lagay mo 1/16. Kung 2/16, lagay mo 1/8. Pag 4/16, 1/4, lagay mo 1/4. Now, other characteristics. Tingnan mo yung other characteristics dito. Bukod sa broken teeth, we have lost teeth cutters. Lagay mo LT. LT. Tapos, ang reason pulled, change bit. So, lagay mo yung code. O kung na-reach na yung casing point, ang reason pulled mo is casing point. Ito, TD, casing depth. O kaya kung nag-failed yung tool, lagay mo downhole tool failure o DTF or downhole motor failure or DMF. O kaya kung nag-change ka ng bottom hole assembly, lagay mo BHA. Kung hole problems ka, HP. Kung pump pressure, hindi ka na or penetration rate, humina na yung ROP, PR. Ganon ang paglagay ng reason full. So, ganon din yung sa mga fixed cutters because we have a bit gauge. Pag pinasok mo siya sa isang bit gauge, pag yan ang ganito ang nawala, halos sobra sa kalahati, you can grade it 4. And pag halos wala na, lagyan mo ng 7. Okay? So, example, ito, tumingin tayo, nag-bold up siya. Kitang-kita naman may mga clay in between. So, hanapin mo yung bold up is BU. Lagay mo, bold up. Ngayon, ito, bold up, pero parang nawala na yung cone, di ba? Parang natapyas. Parang may inikutan ng junk pa. Merong ganon. Ang tawag dyan, cone drag. Malamang na usog pa yung bit. Halos kung may offset siya, baka nawala. Lalagay mo CD sa others. CD. Ito, chip cutter. Kasi tingnan mo naman yung edges, parang na-chip. Ito, loss cutter. So, LT. Ito, broken teeth, katulad nung una, cutters, BT. Ito, parang may ring. Nakalagay dyan, ring out, RO. Ito, may junk. Kita mo yung kaskas dito sa gilid. Tapos medyo na yung ibang cutters. JD, junk. Ito, simply worn cutters. Okay lang yon, WT. Ito, sheared tail damage. Kasi na-damage na yung gilid, yung part ng sheared tail. Kaya ilalagay mo SD. Ito, tracking. Parang nagkaroon ng track. TR. Ito, shelf sharpening wear. Kita mo naman na parang naging pang shelf sharpener. Ito, may erosion. Tingnan mo yung gilid ng cutters na parang may uka-uka. ER. Magkakatalo na lang kung saan nangyari yon. Whether it is... So, sa mga fixed cutter, wala naman tayong wala naman tayong ilalagay na bearing because wala nga siyang bearing, it's either sabihin mo lang effective or ganun. Okay? Usually, maganda ito sa roller o cone. So, yun ang pag-grade. Ito ang mga gina-junk after nung mga drilling campaign. Yung sabi ko, na-refurbish yan, pwedeng ayusin yung bearing, ayusin yung cutters, and then pinagbibili ulit sa mga nag-water well. But usually, not sa oil and gas. Because the rigs are more expensive, so you don't want to rerun a refurbished bit, lalo na sa mga offshore. And then, so penetration rate is a function ng weight on bit, RPM, mud properties, and may slash ito, mud properties and formation pressure, di ba? Pag ang mud weight natin will be very high, it tends to lower the ROP. Kasi masyadong mataas na yung hydrostatic pressure mo against the vis-a-vis the formation. So, naapektuhan niya yung hydraulics. Okay? And this is computation on how to get the hydraulic power at the bit, which is the pressure drop across the bit times flow rate divided by 1714. We will do this once we get into drilling mud at saka yung mga hydraulics sa motor. But sometimes when we use a motor, we need a certain pressure drop, like mga 250 pressure drop to be able to use the motor effectively para malubricate and mabalance din yung bearing ng motor. When I say motor, yun yung ginagamit na nakita nyo sa SDI and Halliburton. Okay? So, that's as far as the bits is concerned. Meron tayo din mga tinatawag na cuttings, and then we want the cuttings to reach the surface. So, dapat yung annular velocity should be greater than the slip or velocity of the cuttings. So, that will be taken up dun sa mga mud, sa mud properties na. So, again, when we use PDC, i-ano natin ng low weight on bit, high RPM. But in any case, whether roller, cone, or PDC, kailangan natin i-break in yung mga bit. Hindi natin ginagamit na once we get into the hole, 45 weight on bit, maximum RPM agad. No. What we do is we break in. Dahan-dahan lang, we apply 2,000 weight on bit and maybe 60 RPM. Pagka-drill niya ng mga first 2 feet, maybe increase it by 4,000. Dagdag tayo ng 2,000. Increase natin ng 100 RPM. And then, pag nabaon na yung bit, naka-create na siya ng tamang pattern, we increase the weight on bit to maybe 10, 12 accordingly, hanggang makadrill na siya ng ano. Because if the bit is not break in properly, it won't drill sometimes. Hindi siya magdi-drills because it doesn't create the correct pattern, and hindi mo siya makuha yung behavior even if you vary the weight on bit and the RPM. Kaya kailangan i-break in. Whether insert, break in pa rin. Okay? So, I think that's I have covered almost all the bit as far as we are concerned. So, I am open to questions. Magtanong na kayo ng magtanong para malinawan kung ano yung gusto nyong malaman. Yes, Marge Parera. And then, Mark Justin.
Sir, parang curious lang po ako. Bakit po pag softer po ang formation, pointed po ang tip ng bit natin, while pag harder po ang formation, mas rounded po siya?
It has something to do with the drilling mechanism kasi, 'di ba? Ang explanation ko is yung drilling mechanism kasi when we have soft formation, hindi kaagad-agad kasi grinding ang kailangan natin, but rather pagka mga soft formation, kaya mahahaba pa siya kasi yung mechanism natin na kailangan is it could either be scraping o kaya gouging or yung mga ganong type muna because hindi ka naman agad mag-crush and grind because pag matitigas na kailangan mo siyang idiin ng husto and shearing kung sakasakali ang action. That is why pinipili natin yung medyo may panghukay, kumbaga sa buhangin, di ba, soft. Kumukuha ka ng shovel mo to scrape and medyo anuhin mo. That's the analogy na that's what we use. As you can see on the screen, sa mill tooth, we are gouging tsaka scraping. So para tayong naglalaro sa buhangin, we use a shovel. Sa insert, we are chipping and crushing. So when we say chipping, parang kumukuha ka ng martilyo at saka maliit na pako, chini-chip mo yung dulo. And that's the drilling mechanism na nangyari with an insert bit. Medyo, di ba pagka halimbawa, nag-aalis tayo ng matigas na semento, what you do is babarena ka ng konti sa mga gilid-gilid para tuloy-tuloy na ma-break. Hindi mo siya ihiwa-hiwalay para and then mamasuhin mo pa siya, ganon. Whereas sa PDC bit, we are shearing and sa natural diamond and impregnated, we are already flowing and grinding yung action. That is why yung mill tooth is a very good candidate for gouging and scraping because of the longer teeth that it possesses. Ayun. I hope that answers your question.
Ayun po, thank you, sir. Akala ko po kasi, dati, kapag mahaba po ang tooth para siya sa harder formation, kasi mas matigas, parang sharp po ang ginagamit. Thank you po.
Okay. Yung mga ganon, medyo nire-reserve natin yon pagka mga soft lang muna. Kasi pagka ginamit naman natin yung mahahaba tapos masyadong hard, potentially baka pagdiin natin mag-break na kaagad yung teeth. Hindi na natin siya magamit. That is why we don't use longer teeth but rather medyo round ones. Ayun.
Ayun
yes.
po. Sir, last na po talaga.
Hindi, okay lang. Okay lang.
Ano po? Kapag po nagdi-drill po tayo, 'di ba? Ito po for oil and gas. Magkaiba din po ba ang drill bit or set ng drill bit na ginagamit para sa mga geothermal energy, yung mga drilling po like yung EDC po? Iba po ba yung drill bit nila sa oil and gas?
Actually, parehas lang. Medyo nagkakatulo lang pag lalo na nandun na tayo sa reservoir ng geothermal. Masyadong mainit yung or yung bottom hole temperature or yung BHT masyadong mainit. So what we do is dapat ang pipiliin natin are usually sealed na bearings, and because of the temperature of the bottom hole, mas madaling bumigay yung mga bearing sa geothermal. So what we do is we try to use a PDC. Kaya lang sa mga geothermal, masyado namang matigas siya for a PDC. So we just resort to mga inserts na mga 537 or mga 614 na IADC code. And then after a certain K revs, yung revolutions na rating ng mga bit manufacturers, we just pull out of hole, change a new bit, tapos after ilan, change again. So one whole section, we could use up maybe 4 or 5 bits. So basta we can get the job done. Maski pa ulit-ulit tayo mag-pull out. Anyway, sa mga EDC, the bits are also owned by, dati they are owned by its same entity, PNOC EDD. Yung wells are being drilled by EDC, kaya they don't care. Ngayon, ibang entity na siya. It's called Thermaprime, yung rig contractor. The operator is now EDC. So sa PGPC, ganun din, but the rig contractors are Thermaprime. So medyo particular na rin sila about the use of bits. Kung makaka-save ka ng trips, it means you can save money, and then you can still, basta ang goal mo is ma-reach mo lang yung target depth as soon as possible.
Ayun po. Thank you po, sir.
Okay, Justin? Justin?
Hello po, sir.
Yes.
Sir,
Diba
lang po,
race?
paano po natin malalaman po yung mga problema po dun sa mga bit, kagaya po ng mga lost po ng nozzle, yung mga yung mga
okay. Sa rig floor, meron kasing mga torque gauge na tinatawag. If we are drilling a hole, and normally the directional driller and the driller, they would take note of the drilling parameters as well as yung mga indications of torque, yung mga ganon, pressure. So computed yung mga standpipe pressure natin when we run into the hole at certain depth and expectedly sa ganitong depth. We can do that using mga hydraulics software of directional drilling companies particularly. Mabilis. So if we see the pressure increasing, let's say tumaas siya ng 300, 400 o PSI, then we know that there is a plug nozzle or a plug bit or even plug motor kung sometimes, no, but since we're talking of bits, most probably yun yung ano. Now if you look at the torque and the torque increase and then the ROP decrease, definitely you will say, oh, medyo ang bearing ko baka hindi na maganda. And if you look at the revolutions, total number of revolutions, ang rating pa lang niya is 500,000, nakaka 450,000 ka na, you better pull out of hole bago ka mahulugan ng cone. So, ganon ang decision tree natin whether pino-pull out na o hindi pa. If sa geothermal, lalo na, we are drilling 5 meters an hour. Tapos nag-drill ako, umabot ng ilang hours na, 60 hours. Tiningnan ko yung mga bit records. Most of the bit can only last up to 60 hours. So, bago ako ng mga 57 hours, I'll start looking at pulling out of hole na. So, sasabihin ko sa company man, we need to pull out of hole and then change the bit bago ka mahulugan. Pag sinabi mo yon, medyo syempre, maano sila, and siya mismo, baka magpa-circulate na agad yon and then pull out of hole. That's a good question. I hope I answered your question.
Okay na po, sir. Thank you po.
Okay, sige. Actually, yung mga nagtatanong, I've been putting some additional points para medyo maano na, biglang sinabi kong additional points, biglang nagtaasan na. Okay, so I still have 8 minutes. So, yes, sino ba yung unang nagtanong? Kenneth? Marty Guzman, Michael Perez, and then Densa Chensa.
Sir, tanong lang. About po dun sa mga natural diamond bits, sir. Naging diamond, sir, yun. Kasi gold ka, sir, na nanakaw yun.
Posible, pero alam nyo, like for example, when you go to mga drilling sites, kung offshore, lahat ng bag hinahalughog bago ka aalis eh. So, very unlikely na gagawin mo yon kasi nakakahiya ka kung if you are search ng bag, tapos dun sa bag mo, maski nga gloves, baka hindi ka napabalikin. So, very rare ang mga ganong nagko-commit ng petty crimes, shall we say, na that will risk of losing their job. So, I don't think so. And ganon din sa mga land rigs na pupuntahan mo because may mga checkpoint. So, pag naanuhan ka, if they suspect you, they might search, lalo na sa mga Saudi o sa mga very strict yung mga niyan. Very strict na makapasok ka doon sa within the vicinity ng rigs. So, medyo mahirap. At saka nobody do that sa oil field. They are already receiving good salaries and makontento ka na lang doon sa nire-receive mong salary rather than lose shame at saka hindi ka na pabalikin. Medyo bihira ako nakakarinig na nagnanakaw ng ganon. And besides, paano nila ipapocket yung bit na yun na pagkabigat-bigat? And you are only allowed 10 kilos. Yung mga crew is less kasi iniiwan naman nila yung boots nila tsaka hard hat. So, no, medyo hindi ako nakakabalitang nagtatago ng mga ganon. Yes, next.
Thank you po, sir.
Yes, Michael. Saka Dens and Jerome.
Good morning po, sir. Di ba nga po, when drilling po, di po talaga maiwasan ang mga failure po when using a drill bit po. Tanong ko lang po, ano po kaya yung mga strategy na ginagawa or pwede pong gawin to prevent po the drill bit drift po when drilling po?
To prevent drill bit failure, ganon?
Yes po, sir.
Marami. Kung may specifications yon, hinihingi naman namin yon sa bit manufacturers. Dapat wag kang lalagpas dun sa specification. If the specifications for weight on bit calls for, let's say, maximum na yung 30,000 weight on bit, mag 30 ka lang. Don't apply 45,000. If the RPM specs is medyo 100, do not put 130 RPM all the time. Medyo labas ka na sa specification. That is number one. Number two, use the proper bit for for certain type of formation. If you're using softer bits made for softer bits, and then the formation maybe is too hard, then wala kang choice but call mo yon and call ng drilling engineers yun because usually naka-outline yon sa drilling program. Pagka ganon, because of the sudden change ng temperature ng formation, you have no recourse but to talk to the company man or maybe kung nandun ang drilling engineer, sabihin mo that you need to pull out of hole before the risk of losing a cone happens. So, you can always look at the torque, you can always look at the yung mga indications bago naman mahulog yon. Mag-i-indicate siya sa'yo sa geolograph, yung drilling, merong drilling doon na may graph. Kikita mo naman masyado ng mabagal yung ROP, tumataas na yung pressure, hindi ka maka-apply ng weight on bit. Pag nagmomotor ka, sumasayaw sa'yo yung mga tool face, hindi na nag-hold. So maraming indication. You just have to listen to what the well is telling you. Ika nga, that's the expression that we always use. Listen to the well, and then you will have no problem.
Thank you po, sir.
Yes. So that is Michael Perez. Yes, Jerome. Jerome? Yun, kung meron tayong mga drill bit record, if it exceeds the hours na, and nakikita mo na by all indications na tumataas yung torque, mababa na yung ROP, or nagkaroon ng change in pressure, or sometimes nahihirapan ka ng mag-steer using the motor, hindi mo na makontrol yung tool pace, that means may diferensya na yung torque. So, lahat ng yon i-consider mo, and then you have to discuss it with the company man. Kung ikaw yung nagde-drill, or the drill, even the driller himself, he can talk to the directional drillers, who is the main man in charge when drilling a deviated well. And then you have to go to the company man and say boldly that, hey, I need to change the bit and pull out. Hindi pwedeng i-delay mo yon kasi it will cost you a lot. Pag nag-fishing, alam nila yon that bakit natin pinabayaan. We already saw the indications sa mga mudlogging, sa mga we already see yung mga yung mga indicators, and yet we did not do anything. So, call yun ng company man. Bago naman yung company man kung deviated siya, mga directional drillers usually ang nakakakita eh. So, you have to be assertive as to the when to pull out and when to keep it. Talagang tansyahan yan eh. So, but if nakita mo that nagamit mo na yung bit 80%, yung revolutions niya 80% na. Tapos anyway, mahaba-haba pa yung didrill mo. Pwede mo nang i-pull out rather than i-risk mo pa. It's weighing against all risks eh. Risk mo pa na tutuloy ka pa, and then ang matitira na lang is 150 feet. So now is the time to pull out. Baka medyo nagkakaproblema na rin after 6 days, wala ka ng battery wala ka nang natitira doon sa memory ng MWD or LWD. So that is the best time to pull out. Tapos medyo yung pressure, medyo nagkakaroon ng pressure. Yung pump, medyo nagkakaroon ng problema. Sabi ng tool pusher, can I change the liner? Sige, sabay-sabay na nating i-repair yan while changing the bit. I-repair yung pump. Pag run in, bagong tools, bagong MWD, lahat na yon. So you have to consider some other things, maski na hindi lang bit. You have to pull out if necessary. Sino ba? Si last na, si Dens at Chensa. It's almost 11. Last question.
Sir, doon po sa bit application spectrum po, bakit po walang bit na mataas ang penetration rate at the same time ay mataas ang formation strength?
Pag mataas kasi yung compressive strength, definitely bababa na yung penetration rate kasi yung action doon is more of grinding. Hindi na siya kasing agile o ng mga merong ngipin, di ba? So, ang penetration rate mo magbabago na yon. Para kang if you take a hand drill, meron akong napakatigas na semento, and I'm using maski na yung pang semento na bit ko, hindi siya masyadong magdidrill basta-basta. Compared sa kumuha ako ng pangkahoy na hand drill, tapos ibarin ako sa kahoy, napakabilis yun bumaon, hindi ba? So it's the same analogy with the compressive strength and the formation. So that is why even if you change the bit, medyo hindi siya makakagain ng higher penetration rate. That's a given. Okay, so very good. I have a few students now medyo nag-ask ng questions, so they will get some extra points later on. So with that, I thank you and have some lunch and see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you po,
Yes,
sir.
po.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.